Time and time again at Browserless, we see customers trying to use browser use but get stuck on the CAPTCHAs. So we worked on this feature where you just set a flag in the connection URL called solveCaptchas equals true. And we'll solve the CAPTCHAs in parallel while your agent is working. That means your agent doesn't even need to worry about it. If you've tried automating a browser with AI, you've probably run into two walls pretty fast. The first one is obviously bot detection. Search engines, login pages, anything with CAPTCHA protection is built to stop automated browsers. The second one is scale. After 3, 5, or 10 browsers running at once, your machine starts to lag. That depends on the resources of your machine, but at some point, local just doesn't cut it. Browserless solves both because your browser use sessions run in the cloud and you can run dozens or hundreds of agents depending on your plan. And you can turn on auto CAPTCHA solving with a single flag in the connection URL. In this video, we'll run browser use against 3 search engines and see what happens when we set the solveCaptchas flag to true. Alright, so before we run anything, let me give you a quick tour of our script. There's 2 things you'll need accounts for, Browserless and OpenAI. I left a comment with the link where you can get these API keys. So you'll want to fetch them and just paste them here and then rename it to .env. That means just remove the .example. It should look something like this. To make the setup easier for you, I've written a setup.sh in the repo. It's just basic code that you need to run Python, like creating a virtual environment, installing a few dependencies, etc. So now let's jump into the main script. I've also left some commentaries in the script so you can follow along once you pull this repository. So at the top, you can see we have the imports. I'm using async IO because browser use is fully async, and browser session and agent from the browser use library, and a few other libraries that you'll need for this script. We'll export the token as an environment variable, or you can just paste it here. This is where the browserless connection happens. As you can see, this is the CDP URL, or also known as the browser WebSocket endpoint. It's pointing to our production San Francisco region, and we're pointing it to the Chromium path. We're then appending the token. We're telling it that the integration is browser use, and later on we'll use a solveCaptchas flag. We're setting the directory for the screenshots, and then comes a task. The task is just a plain English string. We're telling it what to do, and we're gonna tell it to go to 3 search engines and search for the term browserless, and then to take a screenshot at each step. Then this is just cosmetic for the output terminal, just to add a few icons. That's mainly the most important things in this script. If you're interested in seeing the full script, remember there's a repo that you can find in the link in the description. Alright, so let's run this script and see what happens. So first I'm just gonna run it. Step 1, navigate to search engine. It's gonna start with Google. It's going to google.com. So let me open this screenshot. Alright, so it's at the Google search page. Now, oh look, there's the 3rd screenshot, and it ran into a reCAPTCHA. Now it's trying to go to Bing. It's going to bing.com. Cool. Click on submit. Okay. And it encountered a CAPTCHA. Yeah. Alright, so it's moving on to DuckDuckGo. I guess it just gave up. Remember, we didn't program any of this. Browser use is deciding these steps and then taking decisions and just executing them. So step 7, it opened DuckDuckGo, search. Step 8, it ran into a CAPTCHA block. And the fix is just one line. We go back to the CDP URL and add solveCaptchas equals true as a query parameter. And that's it. So now the agent should be able to get past these CAPTCHAs since the flag tells Browserless to solve them in the background. Alright, so all the screenshots were deleted. Step number 1, again it's going, okay, now it started with DuckDuckGo. Decided to start there first. I think it's trying to do something. It got through. Sweet, so we were able to get past DuckDuckGo. Now it's moving on to Google. It's typing Browserless into the Google search. We have this 5th screenshot. Yeah, there's a reCAPTCHA. It solved it. So we're able to get the results. Sweet, so last one, it's going to Bing again. It's typing in Browserless, trying to click on submit, and it was successful once again. How cool is that? We just added one flag and browser use is automatically unblocked. If you're still seeing failures after adding the solveCaptchas equals true flag, try adding a residential proxy if you didn't use one already. You can do that with 2 parameters in the CDP URL. Proxy equals residential and proxy country equals US. That makes your request looks like it's coming from a real user in a real location. which helps with tougher bot detection. The repo is linked in the description, so feel free to clone it, swap in your keys, and you're up and running. And if you're not on Browserless yet, there's a link below to get started. Although solving CAPTCHAs does require a paid plan, so just look at our pricing page and see which plan suits you best. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.